Okay, so I'm trying not to be frustrated or upset, but I put my pages in between two pieces of wood and clamped them so I could flatten them, because as you remember they were all very wavy and stuff. Did a fantastic job. Like, that's 2 signatures in there. Did a great job flattening them. Problem? Yeah. They're sticking together in certain areas. This one I managed to pull apart, but paper came off. It came off of this one and stuck onto this one. So I got them apart and I glued the paper back on. There is this little small part here. That's actually his face, but I'm not going to be able to pull it off. So he's missing a piece of his face. And this one, this part stuck to here. So I got some of that glued back on. And this has been left white because that piece is missing. So I was doing this off camera, but I decided, just in case anybody else does something like this, then I'm not saying everything is going to work out, but maybe I'll do something that helps you solve a problem that you have, like if this happens to you. So when possible, like, I took the piece of paper from here that was stuck and I took it off and I glued it back on just with some glue stick. And that is some paper that's left on there. I may put a little bit of water on my finger and try to rub it off, or I may just wait until I'm done everything and see if it's, like, if it really stands out to me. So for this spot, I'm just going to draw that in black and leave a bit of a line for what would be the white spider web. I know it's not exactly the color it was, but it blends it in a bit better. And that little spot, I'm just going to leave it. I may go in with some coloring pencils after. First, I'm just going to concentrate on getting this apart. So you can see there's a bit of a nail missing, and it's right here. So I'm going to see if I can pull it off. See, and I got that one off nice. Actually, I'm going to use this so I can be more precise. I'm just adding a little bit of glue where it's supposed to be. I'm going to try and line it up. Oh, I just tore some of the nail off. It's kind of hard to do because it's in small pieces. Goodness gracious, I did not do a good job. There we go. Okay, I need more glue. So I'm using the tip of my my X-Acto knife because it is much easier than trying to use fingers. The fingers just get in the way. It goes this way. My finger. And if it's not perfect, then I'm not too worried about it being perfect, because it being back on is better than not having anything there. Goodness gracious. I said this is far from perfect, but This one was stuck together, and this is why I decided to come on camera and do it, because this was completely stuck together around here and this part of the dress. And so I pried it open as much as I could, and then I took my heat tool, because this one gets hot but is not as bad as an embossing gun. So, and I kept applying heat like on the side and in through where I could. And then I took my X-Acto knife and I got down there and I applied it apart. And I managed, not saying it's always going to happen, but I did manage to take it apart without wrecking it. So now these two are stuck together. So I'm pulling it as much as I can. I can see where that's stuck together. That's stuck together there. So I'm going to get the heat gun and get it down there. I'm going to see if I can get it further apart. Oh, paper ripped. I need to get a longer knife. I can see the paper coming off, but it's still slightly attached. Darn it. I know you can't see this part, but see that piece of paper? So I'm taking my knife and I'm trying to pull it off. So there's a little bit of transfer on there. And this ripped, but at least it stayed where it's supposed to. I'm just going to apply glue. So that's not too bad. It's not ideal, but it's better than having a piece missing. This one I can see the glue, so I'm going to heat it. Yeah, it must have been the gel medium because you can see it around the eye. But they came apart. You can see where it's stuck, but it's probably not noticeable on camera, but I can tell by looking at it. But it all stayed there. So that one was pretty good. This one we just have, oh, that's the one I already fixed. I'm gonna leave it. So now this one, stuck right up there. So it's just right here. This seems to be the only, no, it's stuck further down here too. paper's gonna come off. It released. By heating it, it just came apart all on its own. And all there is this little piece of paper. So using the heat gun actually really works because this was completely stuck together right here. And it came apart no problem. So I hope that helps you guys if the same thing happens to you. Now my pages aren't quite as flat as they were when I took it out of the thing, but I'm okay with it. I am not going to clamp them together again. So I don't know if maybe if I wanted to flatten them again and do that. Like I thought the pages were dry. So I don't know. Maybe I think I would wait longer, but even still, because it's gel medium, I don't know if it'll always be sticky if compressed together. So maybe I would wait longer and also add a piece of either saran wrap or wax paper in between. I think I'd feel more comfortable with saran wrap because there's no paperness to it at all, whereas wax paper, you know, still has the ability to stick. So maybe put sheets of saran wrap in between, like in between here and in between each signature, and then clamp it to get them to straighten. But I'm going to be fine with that little bit of wonkiness. And maybe I will just take some pencil crayon or something and color in that part on his face and that part there. That one, I'll just connect the glasses. That's really all that was. And then maybe I'll color in that little spot. That one's fine. That one I might color that little bit in green. I'm gonna put a little bit of water on my finger and see if yeah, I'm gonna leave that. It's hardly noticeable. There's a little bit of paper still stuck on there, but it's not that noticeable. That one, I think I'd rather color that in with a black lead than a pen because it's more faded. That one's a bit messy. That one's fine. And since I did it on that one, I'm gonna do it a bit more. Just to tie it in a little bit. Makes it look more deliberate. That's it for that one. Oh, I never did finish her neck. Remember, I added a piece of paper for her neck. I'm just going to add some stripes. And that's it. And I came out a little on the side for like some shading. I'm going to get as close to skin tone color as I can. First I'm going to put this away. I'm just going to use my Prismacolor coloring pencils. Just use whatever you have. There's a little piece of paper sticking up. I just very lightly colored it in, and you can barely see. So you can probably tell because of where I drew the lines for the glasses, but that is where I colored it in. Because I have that little bit of ink from my pen, I'm just going to go around and outline that. Almost good. His face. This has some lighter stuff. And then a little bit of darker. And some of the paper, I can tell, is lifting. Just going to take a little bit of gel medium. That's better than it being white. And that's where it was. Okay, so that one's fine. This one, I'm going to take black and just swirl that in. And that's all I'm going to do with that one. Because quick looking at it, you're not really going to notice it. Like, I know it made some of the circle disappear, but I think this is less noticeable than if I try to redo the circles. This one I'm going to get a little bit of green. That's the right green. I'm just going to take this one in a little further. Just go around this outer edge. There we go. So that's that one, and that one was messed up right there. That one I'm leaving. So that's it. So now hopefully, well, hopefully it doesn't happen to you guys, but if it does, then hopefully those little tips help.